So everybody, in lesson number 2, we talked about the subjective pronouns or subject pronouns in German. We basically talked about this system. Ich, du, er, sie, es, man, wir, ihr, alle, sie, die und sie. Now today we're going to talk about the simple present in German. So how we use the simple present in German. A very important thing to know. So before going to simple present, I'm going to teach you a new thing. So this wir wollen could be also used as a reminder, because this is also very important to be mentioned. So control left. So number one is going to be wir wollen, means we want. Now question form is wollen wir, means do we want. We basically do the same thing for the rest of them, and then we will see how it goes. Just remember number 3 and number 4 are basically number 1 and number 2. So I'm going to write the same thing here, wir wollen. And again, number 4, I'm going to write wollen wir, right? Wollen wir. This W here must be small. Now here, wir wollen, wollen wir, wir wollen, wollen wir. So one goes and one comes back. Just remember, one goes and one comes back. So one, actually declarative sentence, question, declarative question. 1, 2, 3, 4. Basically number 1, 2, 3, and 4 are the same thing. But what do we do here? What we basically do here is to add two nichts, which negates these two sentences. So wir wollen nicht means we don't want. Wollen wir nicht means don't we want. So just remember that. Easy peasy Japanesey, shakalaka. Now you can see how it goes. There we go. So again, number 5 is the WH question. Was means what, plus or plus number 2. So this is number 2. Number 2. Say sentence number 2. What is sentence number 2? Sentence number 2 is wollen wir. So basically you say was wollen wir. Remember, we always add WH questions to the beginning of the sentences, which are questions in advance. So wollen wir is a question in advance, means do we want. Now in English is the same thing. We do the same thing in English. So was wollen wir and was wollen wir nicht. So here we say was wollen wir. No, we're not gonna write that. We're gonna write number 4, right? This is how it's supposed to be. So this is number 4, right? So we say was, which is a WH question, plus sentence number 2, or plus. This is plus in German. Was wollen wir? This is wollen wir, right? Was wollen wir? And number 4, was wollen wir nicht? There we go. As you can see, so far so good. So was wollen wir and was wollen wir nicht. Now what we want to do here is we're going to talk about simple present in German. Simple present or present simple. Simple present in German. This is going to be the topic of today's lesson. And what we have done so far is a review of what we have done or we've been doing before. So control L, and this is our new lesson. Probably we might need a table. The table in need is a table indeed. Easy peasy Japanesey. There we go. This is the table. What a beautiful table. Look at my table. Yeah. So what do we need here? We basically use the same pronouns and we have a verb. Okay. So this is how it goes. We have a verb here. The example is regular verbs. Now in German, please don't confuse yourself, because they're going to call it many names, and please do not overwhelm yourselves with these terms. These are just grammatical terms and we don't need them. All you need is here. Just follow carefully. So this machen is a regular verb. Right? Now the question is, how do I understand that this machen thing or verb here is a regular verb? Well, I have checked this one in a dictionary where we don't have any information in advance, so no one can guess that this machen is a regular verb. Basically, we need to memorize and we need to understand in advance, or we need to check the dictionary, or maybe your teacher could tell you even, so that this machen is a regular verb. Doesn't make any difference. Well, yes, it does. When we want to conjugate the verbs, it makes a great difference. So here, the first thing you do when it comes to conjugating a verb in German is to remove the infinitive sign, which is the en here. Now this is what we do, mach. So this mach thing over here, in German we call it the stem. This is the stem, and the stem thing in German is Stamm. So Stamm means stem. This S and T combination in German has always the pronunciation of st. So basically some people say this is like states in English. We do not say estates, okay? This is one of the mistakes people might make. So if you say the United States, well, as you can see, yeah, in linguistics terms we call this epenthesis or insertion. Well, all correct, but this is not true. This mustn't be done. This is a mistake. The United States is a mistake. What do we need to say instead is the United States. No a here. If you say, for example, okay, and a small baby, this is basically a non-native pronunciation, and people make this mistake, well, more than you ever think about it. So, and a small baby is correct because, yeah, we have the epenthesis thing over here, which shouldn't be here in the first place. But as you can see, yeah, people make this mistake more than we can imagine. And I used to make the same mistake. So, and this is not going to be easy when it comes to pronunciation, but we're gonna take care of it. Yeah. So, yeah. This when this is added here, this an is again justified. So two more mistakes and a small baby. Basically, what we need to say or instead is a small baby. The United States, not the United Estates. Okay. So here we say Stamm, but this combination has always the sound of sh, sh in English. Stamm. Okay, so Stamm and a is always a. Stamm means, yeah, the root. I could also say the root, but I don't want to get into that because there's going to be a difference between the root, the stem, and yeah, this is all you need to know. So this is the simple verb. Now, English basically has no grammar when it comes to conjugation compared to German. Because in German we're gonna have to conjugate the verbs. So this is ich. Here you add mach. What we need to do here is basically we add the mach, which is the stem or Stamm, everywhere in front of the verbs. So really easy. Mach, 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 mach. I don't know how many machs, okay, but yeah, doesn't matter. Or maybe so control E, right? So this is number one. Ich Yeah. So what do we do here? We say ich plus So the first person is always like this. Ich mache. This is what we do basically. Ich mache means we do. So what do we do? Or I make, or whatever. So for the do thing, we always use do plus st. Just remember that, st. So du machst. This st comes down, so the st comes down over here, and s is removed, only t remains. Just remember that, okay? St, basically the s thing is removed here and the t comes down, so we say macht. And again we have, we could copy the same thing over here. We can say macht, sie macht, es macht, and also man macht. So here we say macht. Now this is the sie macht, and also es macht. And again man macht. Man macht means man macht means one makes, or you make, the generic you. So ich, du, ihr, sie, es, man. Now here we say wir machen. Okay, now if you remember, wir was always used with machen. Wir machen. Just remember. Why this happened here? Because we talked about it before. We said these three pronouns, which we are going to talk about, are always used with simple infinitive in German without removing en, which is the sound of infinitive in German, the sound of the verb. So here we have alle. The reason we used alle here was because we had too many u's, or so many u's in German. One u is du, one u is the generic u, the other u is the formal singular u. The other u, which is the last one, is you all, when you are talking to many people, or probably more than two or more than one. This is how it goes. So now we're gonna go to z and d. Z and D over here is they, and they is basically used with the same thing, machen. So and again we have one more z, which is the formal z, and this one again is going to be used with machen. So we remember that wir, sie, die, and sie are used with simple infinitives in German. Now here, what we basically need to do is to add a plus mach plus te, or macht. So this may look like this thing, I mean the third person, but this is not always true, okay? There could be similarities, but there is always differences. But yeah, this is what we've done so far. So now ich mache, this is number one. Du machst means you do. Macht means he does. Sie macht means she does. Sie macht means she does. Es macht means it does. Man macht means one does. Wir machen means we do, or even we make. Ihr alle macht means you all do, or you all make. And then we have sie, die machen means they do or they make. And number 10 is sie machen which means you formal do. Now I want you to remember that. Now this is what we have learned so far. So ich mache, Du machst, er macht, sie macht, es macht, man macht, wir machen, ihr alle macht, sie die machen, and sie machen. So guys, this is basically the simple present in German, which was lesson number 3. So this is what we have done so far. Just remember that. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Please follow us in future lessons.